Morning, Man United Agenda here. My name's Emondi Juma. Just to give you a quick run through of all the news, all the gossip, all the transfer news, and a few of my own opinions about what's going on at the moment. So all things Manchester United. Firstly, I want to start with Frenkie De Jong. Really talented, gifted player. I mean, he can play anywhere in a 6, 8, 10. He's so gifted. I mean, he gets the ball, he does a little Cruyff shuffle. Can dribble with it, can pop it off. Just a real playmaker and all-round midfielder, modern style player, but also a throwback to sort of the 70s Dutch team as well. He's just gifted as can be. Barcelona signed him, and when he signed, I thought to myself, oh my God, here we go, Barcelona signing another top player, and he was really happy to be there, you know, and you could sense that he was going to be like the new Zavi, Iniesta, and come in like that, but he's not surrounded by great players anymore. Players there on the decline, and obviously Barcelona are on the decline. I know they've got Pedri and Busquets there, but really and truly they're not doing it at the moment, and he hasn't settled as well as we thought he might do. So Frenkie De Jong, there's a lot of speculation about him not staying at Barcelona, and so we're just saying here, Romano, he said that people saying that he's been linked with Man United, but no one has opened talks with him as yet, and it's still quiet for now. This is from Romano, and I think when you say things like that, still quiet for now, suggests that there is an interest in him, and maybe Man United are interested. And I personally think he would be really suited to us because he's so versatile. I know we've got Donny van der Beek, but I think Frankie is like a level above Donny. I just can see by the interest that it's just clear on the eye as well. I mean, when they were playing in the same team, Frankie was the guy who made them tick, you know, and Donny was just on the end of things and finishing up, but he wasn't, it was like, in the same team they can play together, but I just felt that Frankie's sort of outshone him. So I'm really interested in Frankie. I've always been keeping an eye on him, and I just think he's such a gifted player. So yeah, but when Romano says there's no talks to sign him for now, I think that's a big hint that something could be happening quite soon. So keep an eye out for him. And if you haven't seen Frenkie De Jong, go and have a look at him. He's a top player. Next up, I'm going to keep on midfielders for now, is a young 18-year-old called Zavi Simons, and also like Frenkie De Jong, he came from Barcelona. He used to play for Barcelona, came for the youth setup, and he was one of these guys in this YouTube era. He was one of these wonder kids that was always shown, you know, doing his skills and playing games. And not all of them developed to be good players, but you recognise him. He's Dutch boy. He's got curly hair. His name is Zavi Simons, and so Barcelona apparently they let him go a few years ago. They went to Paris. For some reason. So I'm thinking, why would they let him go? He obviously seems like a good player, you know? But they did. They let this guy go. So it's unfortunate, really, because he's such a good, talented player. But since he's been at PSG, he's 18 years old now. He hasn't really had that many games. He has played a couple of first-team games, but he hasn't really been brought in. So the deal is there. His contract's due to run out in June, and he'll be available on a free. But they want reassurances that he's going to be a first-team player at Paris, and I don't think Paris can offer that. They want to keep him Paris, but I don't think that Paris can offer him that deal to be a first team player at the club at the moment, because he's only 18, and you know that's a big ask. So the agent's looking for first team football. That's what they're looking for. And I heard that Rangers in Scotland are interested in him. Obviously that'd be a stopgap, good club for him to go to, where he can show his talent and then obviously be signed by a bigger club if he develops that way, you know. But me personally, I think you should always be looking at players like this. I know we've got Hannibal and Robbie Savage's son, you know, at the club, and these promising midfielders coming through. But I think he's really talented, and he's worth having a look at, especially if he's free. And I'll get onto it in a minute about Ralph's criteria for signing players, but I think he should be viewed as a free transfer and someone you should really be looking at. Obviously, would we offer him first team football? That's the big question mark. You know, if PSG are not going to do that, then what's to say that we are? And would he get into our team at the moment? I'm not sure. Anyway, Haidara. We all know about Haidara. I mean, he remains interested in signing for us. I mean, if you want to know more about him, go and check out the Man United Agenda show a couple of nights ago. We had Connor on, Yank talking smack, and he done a scout report on him. It's really in depth. And I think it's worth a watch if you don't know enough about Haidara. Me personally, I didn't realise as well he's had a few injuries. That could be a question mark really whether we sign him or not, but he's known to Ralph and we have to trust in Ralph. If he's identifying him as a good player to fit into our side, then yeah, I'm down with that, you know. Who else we got here? Kessie. Now we all know Kessie. We played against AC Milan in the Europa League last season and he really bossed the game in midfield there. Top quality player. He's going on a free. The issue that we got there with AC Milan, they want to keep him obviously. He's actually on 2.2 million a season at the moment, and AC Milan have offered him 6 mil a season, which is, you know, 3 times the amount almost of what he's got at the moment. But his agent is refusing that. They want 8 mil a season. So negotiations aren't going well for Kessie at the moment. He could leave on a free at the end of the season. AC Milan, they lost their goalkeeper, Donnarumma, to Paris on a free as well recently. They're currently second in the league, so they're doing really well. It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, they got knocked out the Champions League as well. They were in with Atletico Madrid and Liverpool in that group, and I think they've been relegated to the Europa League. But that's an interesting signing. We've identified him, especially on the Man United agenda, a long time ago. So that's somebody that I feel that maybe we should be looking at if he's free. But I'll come on to why I have doubts about that as well. Going to talk about 2 goalkeepers in a minute as well. But just to say here, with Ralf Rangnick, I think we have to consider some key criteria for Ralf when it comes to signings. And it's clear, he said he likes developing players. And like people say, oh, well, what's he won? He wins by developing players. That's what he does. And I think we're lucky to have him. The youth players at Man United, they obviously got a chance against young boys as well. They should be like fired up right now to show that, you know, I can get in. You know, if there's ever an opportunity now's the time to say as a youth player, I've got an opportunity to get into the first team, or you know, at least fight for a first team place, or get noticed by Ralph, because this is one of the criteria. He likes younger players that he can develop, you know. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the sort of signings that he does make. If he does make signings, I reckon they'll be under 25 years old. I can't see him buying anyone older than that. I think he's going to start developing players of that age, you know, and teach them the ways of Ralph and the ways of Manchester United. So any signings that come in, hopefully they will be sort of younger players who are sort of either on the cusp of making it or need a bit of developing, you know. So when you look at someone like Ahmad, who's been at the club, obviously he's not signed by Ralph, but he's a talented player in Europe. I think he's got a great opportunity now to sort of develop and shine under this management, you know. So it's all looking good. Just a couple of things now. Dean Henderson, 2 goalkeepers. Dean Henderson, there's been a report again here saying from Romano, I think, saying he's always been respectful, but he's a professional and wants to be playing first team football now. His priority is to play, and obviously maybe he wants to get back into the England setup. And I think it's important he does. He's 24 years old. He was playing 38 game season with Sheffield United not long ago. So he wants to get back to playing first team football, and Man United at the moment don't seem to be playing him. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. They said no interest. There's no deal being made with Ajax or anything as yet. I know if you check out Mr. B had a great theory on why Ajax would be interested in him. Check out last night's show for some insight into that. And I think there's something in that as well. Mr. B came up with genius. So that'd be interesting to see what happens with Dean Henderson. Everyone knows I don't want him to leave. I think he's a top goalkeeper. I think he should be number 1 for us, but that's another argument. And also, there's a 6'4" goalkeeper from Leeds. He was signed from Lorient. His name is Melsla. I hope I'm getting that correct. And I don't know much about him. He hasn't sort of caught my eye or anything, but I from now on I suggest if you're watching Leeds play, have a look at him, guys. Have a look at him, because he looks like he's on our radar and he fits the bill. Again, like I was saying earlier, he's young, can be developed. He's only 20 years old, 21, born in 2001. They signed him on loan in the Championship when they were in the Championship in 2019, and since then they've gone on to give him a permanent deal. So they've identified him as obviously a talented player, and he's 6'4" as well, so he's quite tall. I think he's quite modern with being good on his feet, bit of a sweeper keeper as well. So I, for one, and I suggest you do too, start looking out for him. So that's enough for now. That's this morning's news. that's my little report. I'd suggest you tune in tonight to the Man United Agenda around 8 o'clock, 8:30. Set your alarms. We're going to have a show on, maybe with Jay Motti, and after that, obviously, Friday nights it's going to be Mr. B and his takeaway. So tune in to Man United Agenda. Thank you. I've been Monday Juma. Have a lovely day. Bye.